Don't shut up, y'all good. Hello, anyone, anywho, y'all good. And then Bayesian's so happy because there are lambs. Yeah, there are lambs that are Asian. Yeah, they're Asian. And right there's Malaysian lambs. And then there's these other lambs they're Hmong and they're lambs. Yeah, the head of a tiger. They're Hmong Chinese woman. Yeah, y'all good. I see her's been born and her's been spotted in Lao country and also mainland. Yeah, mainland. And her is born, yep, her morphs into a demon, yeah, a demon, real. And then I saw these other lambs, and then I saw the horn demons, ram, right there in Australia. Those were once in St. Paul City in Minneapolis, real. They were wedded to Thor, yeah, to Mongtal, yeah, Mongtal. And right there, right there in Australia. Not all of it, but there's only 4 left in France. I have 4 left in France. Yep, and they're looking for those lost things. They're hiding in mode. They're right there in Australia when they morph. I usually when they morph into demon mode, they murdered a lot. Yeah, they're allowed to Yaku. And so the head of a tiger is way cool. There's no way you can be Pi. Yeah, there's no way you can be Pi. There's actually a lamb demon right now in Eau Claire City on the UFO. Real, yeah, real. He's waiting. 2043. He descends. Yeah, he descends. And he acknowledges Pi, shouts in the blue skies, and then Pi awakens. Yeah, Pi awakens. Woman, Pi is awakened with UFO technology and spirits real. Yeah, real. You cannot impersonate God via Pi. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 4-sided star equipment war. Yeah, real. Yeah, Aztec. Yeah, Aztec. You don't even believe that Pi fought the double wand wielder and defeated him. Yeah, he was not that fast. Yeah, he was not that fast. But Pi only caught up because Pi has a supercharger too in the throat. Yeah, that's true. Pi thefted from African Egyptians, and later on, Pi, you caught up, but you were actually 14 days slower when he supercharges real time for about 8 days. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because every time he does that, his spinal cord's melting too, and he feels it. And right there, Pi, you cut him up, and right there, Pi, hyper collision, you hit him 600 times. Yep, per hyper collision. 700 was best. Yeah, best. The other war gods, I don't know who landed a few thousand. Yeah, on him. Yep. I'm betting Shalom does about 1,000, 2,000. Yep, real. Yeah, real. Yep. Double Wanda Wielder is not nice. Yeah, him's not nice. Pi murdered off the other evil level 1 gods from the Book of Law. The one who crossed his left hand, yet found him in Thai sector. Some of his offsprings, Pi murdered them. Theft the supercharger, and then, yep, double wand wielders, yep, his wild gods assaulted you. 400 trillion cuts per hyper collision, and you outmaneuver them. Pi, yeah, that's true. Pi is so amazing. Pi did it. Those are all level 1 ranking, yep. If you get hit 700 trillion, 800 trillion, get out of there. Yeah, get out of there. You'll not survive. Per hyper collision, you'll not survive. Pi is the only one that was designed right, woman. They did that to Pi about 8 times, yeah, per hyper collision, yep. Pi withstands about 2, 3, and then Pi's out of that. 800 trillion, Pi's out of that, Pi's out of there. Because there's no point in fighting it. Its dex is still too fast, yep. Let the bot match it, and the metal molecule, and then bends back, and then bend, and then you match, and then hyper collision, cut again. And then Pi-Eason's metal is Egyptian level 3, yeah, Egyptian metal level 3. Real Egyptian level 1, we have yet to steal that from Hound Dog Goddess. But do not tell him Pi, yeah, do not tell him Pi. Because we noticed the double wand wielder's metal, Pi. When you decrypted it, it was only level 3, yeah, it was only level 3, yeah. Pi can swing faster, but if you swing faster, it shatters like dust particles, and shards. No good, yeah, no good, because you need to move it around you and then parry with it and block other weapons from other human gods. And right there, if it melts, hits you, you get light up. Yeah, you get light up. Yeah, you get light up. And right there, Pi, it was so graphic. It was graphic. It's like this, Pi. All magical weapons, they're hard enough, but the amount of time where you can swing it and it pastes back together, you know, level 1 magic metal elixir is unique. Yeah, that's true. When Pi cloned it from the Hound Dog Goddess, Pi noticed Pi's magic metal only lasts 18 minutes. Yeah, 18 minutes, that's real. They're real Egyptians with the metal wands, yet the bar clubs, yet the clubs, the metal sticks. That motherfucker stuff lasts 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours, yeah, real. That motherfucker Pi defeated a few, but don't tell him Pi. Yeah, don't tell him Pi. Those are the real level 1 Egyptians. And then the weapon looks like an egg shape on top, and then the bar, the stick, the rod, and it was fucking graphic as fucking graphic. 2 fucking hours of Pi swinging the green sword. Pi said, have you ever seen 2 fucking Egyptians laughing with you? Wrote you defeated something that is level 1 ranking. 2 other level 1s when fighting you becomes level 3. And then, for the timeline only after the super jet back to level 1, you out of there, Pi's out of there. Pi's only level 3, level 3. Emulation and supercharge, Pi bend. As soon as they move, Pi's molecule pick up on it. And then eventually, within a few hours to a few days, Pi match, Pi match, that's true. And on slow gods, on 20s, they match every 3 years, they match every 3 years. And Pi right there, he is super fast, but he is not healthy. 1 cut, and he's an android, he's a plastic android, but he withstands. And it was those war types, that went in there. Very graphic, they bent to Egyptian level 1 speed because Pi allowed them to, Pi allowed them to. Woman, not fun, not fun. He was so gifted. He's Indo-Chinese. He's Indo-Chinese working for the Thai emperor. Very powerful king cobras like Pi, and they were there. Pi and they, sealed off the level 1s. The invaders. The space pirates. Very graphic news. Pi, deadly. You're flying around with green swords in 2 hours. Pi, your Hebrew. They left. They left. Shalom left too. He said, hell no. That is beyond Shalom, beyond Shalom. Look at Pi. Only did about, on the level 1 group, only did about 7 to 6 trillion cuts. Shalom did about 40 to 80, and he quit, because those are level 3. So he fights them. Level 2, he fights them. Level 1, he quits, he took off, and Pi's there fighting alone with a bunch of other Hebrews and a bunch of older Hebrews. The Hebrew landed 40 hits, but 4 hits, 4 hits only, so no, 4 hits only. I not dare swing any faster. My metal break, and then I'm not going to be fast enough to parry. Parry in black. And right there, several hyper collisions. And Bison, did you see how fast he swung the bars and you parried about 800 trillion per second, while you were cutting him? That's true. And Bison, you know what he said? You not a liar, Pi. But I saw him did that twice. Pi, he did that twice. One time, Pi noticed that fucker did 800 trillion times 2 on you. Pi's out of it. Pi's out of it. Pi survived, but you look at the data, chunks of Pi's brain and spinal cord, the torso, chest, and legs and arms are missing. That's true, that's true. What was flying behind you is holding the sword. That's true. Because that motherfucker is super fucking fast. Took Pi 18 minutes to restore the body. That's true. Very powerful god, and your psychic shield and psychokinesis barrier, saved your butt. But 9 hours of you feeling it in the throat, Pi. Very deadly, level 1 war gods. And by using it right there, you pace back together, and then 2 months you're out of there, for a few hundred years, that's true. The wealthy go in there and they fight it, and you didn't understand Pi's a gold level god. They managed to delete Pi. Guess what? Pi popped back out in 3D space. Real. Pi fight again. Same health point. Same health point. And right there, it was same performance. He murdered you twice, Pi, and then he quit. You notice? Nope, that's not how to kill Pi, and right there, he quits. Because he knows he's only a silver human god. And right afterwards, silver is only one soul. One soul. Pi is only a few thousand, about 2,000 plus souls. That's true. Every time, Pi, you become damaged, you have to go back and rest for about 100 years. About 300 years, but really, 8 years. 8 years minimum. That's true. Best fight scene, Pi. Double Wanda Wilder's been wounded. Your knights are landing about 4 to 18, 30 hours on him every day. Every day. And it's about 600 cuts per bot. Per bot. Pi, have you seen this? Your hair strand bot landed about 4 million cuts. And those are the rare ones, and 4 to 6 million cuts per hyper collision. But those are tiny hair strand weapons. They work like swords, metal little tiny rods. Very graphic. And Paizo, can you believe it? He was hit 4 billion times per hyper collision. It took you about 80 trillion years to kill the double wand wielder. He is a liar. He is a liar. You know why? He heals with another human god's DNA, and then it looks super neat. Yeah, it looks super clean. Yeah, super hardcore healing region, and it was 4 trillion years by. People were fucking thrilled you're wealthy enough to seal it in prison. That's true, because you're all king cobras, and that space country has been sealed off. And Paiusin, after you looted their white woman, the level 1, goddess from the double wanded wielder, way powerful. Yeah, way powerful. You notice you bred it into demon hawks, and they have level 1 DNA, but very graphic. By 2 hours of you thrilled, because the first thing we did was experiments with those. Yeah, 100% always allowed to y'all could. And the most graphic scene pie after they've been bred with by white people from Israel. You made a few. Yeah, you made a few pie. Yeah. I didn't pie never dare again. Yeah, pie never dare again. Breed into those. Yeah, that's true. Pie's son probably do. Yeah, Pie's son did. And right there, that grandson has the real level 1. Genetically in his throat DNA. And later on, when he uses it, pie, he not lag, but he hands it grandpa. You're about 9 days slower. Get out of there. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100% we do. Because pie is not playing with those. Those they get a new speed, and their god metal alloy generates as fast, and they perform at the new rate. New speed, new quickness and acceleration. And right there, other god benders, magic benders and acceleration, where they turn really fast, they glide really fast, they somehow pull forward, and then their speed is increased. But those are acceleration only. Yeah, acceleration. Salam is a super acceleration type. Yeah, that's true. I met a Hebrew that is that powerful pot, but he not there. Yeah, he not there. Those are real level 1s that he took off. He said, no pie on your own. Yep, I did it. It was so graphic, but he said, 3 days you finding them alone, yet you pass. You murdered off, or Paisa, I murdered off 9 million. Yeah, 9 million of his men. Yeah, of his men. And right there, everyone was, level 1 dex, even if it's old dex speed. 2 days ago, same. 3 fucking hours, people cry. And Paisan, you murdered 9 million of the double wonder wielders, man. Family members, you saw 8 hours of Shalom looking for those. But yeah, those are weaker. And then they have not the correct supercharger on. I'm not say, it's older model. Yeah, it's older. Yeah, it's older. It not have the same, force induct in the throat. And right there, Pi, the force induct gave him a lot. Yeah, y'all could. Pi not there. Yep, Pi not there. Pi's a liar too, because Pi installed it. But later on, Pi knew it. Pi, when you went to thieve the Asian version, 730,000 years old, 個滿意啊，就下播咗就拍咗咧 740,000 to 50,000, but really 30,000. Those are the Indo-Chinese that matched the Malaysian wheel before the Malaysian wheel became a war god level 5. His grandparents were level 2. Yeah, level 2 Egyptian. Yeah, level 2 Egyptian. And those motherfuckers, Pi noticed that supercharger is a bit faster than the hound dog African gods that went into your Asian space country. And right there, when you put it on Pi, you're only 9 days faster. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Pi not tell you those are level 2. And then Pi likes using that until Pi emulates the level 1 supercharger. After you put it on, you hate yourself, Pi, because you're afraid. You're afraid of you're afraid of because it is level 1. It is about 20 days faster. Yeah, 20 days faster. Not full of it, but Pi using the double wander kit is about 400 days faster. Yeah, faster. He said, Paisa, the double wonder wielder's metal kit in the throat is 430 days faster. Watch out, Pi. You is near the level 1 speed. He says if they capture one with the magnifying metal, they can make that twice. That is when Pi's out of there. Yeah, Pi's out of there too. Yeah, Pi's out of there. Because hell no, Pi will not tell you how God metal is designed. It's in the egg nucleus of every skin cell of every human god, and then boom, you magnify and you automatically, pop out the speed, faster and faster, and super psychokinesis, super strength, power, and right there, there's no lag or flimsiness, but 2 hours, Pi, you saw what you saw. 3 of them are lying to you, he says. If you fought one of the groups in the Book of Law, yep, you defeated him. Yeah, you was in the close range. Previous pi, you didn't have that supercharger installed. They nailed you every time. Yep, every time you went in that space country. Yep, the prison. Yeah, the prison. And then it was about 13 times they vaporized pi. Yep, pi's out of there. Pi's out of there. Pi not dare compete again, because pi feels pain. Yeah, feels pain too. Woman, pi's not pushed to the core yet. 15 is that's it. That's it. About 13, 14. Yeah, pi's out, because pi is afraid to tell you. Every time you're in that mode, you need to get back to the space station to heal. Yeah, there's only a few million years, a few billion years, and then you become a ghoul. Yeah, become a ghoul. Yeah, it's ghoul, because right there you're running on an ancient god. Yeah, alloy from the inside of the Milky Way, and right there, pi, it allows you to appear and live again. And right there, you need to return and inject your DNA back into you, and then you become real again. That idiot didn't believe you, pi. Passed away 8 hours later in gold form. He thefted from your son, pi. Yeah, that's true. That's true. One of Pi's white son didn't believe pi. Pi told him, "You look good, son, but in gold form, you need to go talk to the bot and re-inject your funny DNA, and then endure for about 20 years, yeah, 28 years, and you'll be okay. Yeah, you'll be okay. You'll become real again." And then he knew it, pi. Very graphic. Hey, pi. Right afterwards, yeah, you're the last ancient god that knows the gold form. They wrote, why was that taken out of the human god? Because African took it out of white people. White people tricked African sun god and took it out of him. But in reality, any Egyptian that can do that, they're like pi. Yeah, they're liars. Yeah, they're liars. They'll never die. But is your face not old enough? Why would you go play with human gods who not love you, Astro? And then Pisces, you see what happened? 2 fights in that space country, pi. And I saw it took you 4 days to fly out of the Astro. That's true. It is so graphic. The monster is the double wand wielder. And then Pisces, 2 hours you killing off their African, Egyptian, and New Zealand, and that is the father crushed his left hand. 2 hours of those being identified. Very graphic news, pi. That is the Egyptian that you match, and they made fun of you. He says, "You not die, pi." But when you match those, it means them theft from when you're a hound dog. Yep. And then they went into Asia, Astro. And the Jerusalem mom is not anything innocent. Yep, them were found there too. Pi murdered them. And it was 2 hours of Jerusalem. Yep, Persian. No good, no good. And it was pi fighting those. Pi using, you know what happened? E-Rain is pretty close. Yeah, E-Rain's pretty close. Yeah, E-Rain has the supercharger kit that pi previous used. Those motherfuckers are level 3. Yeah, level 3. Their superchargers, when they're flying next to a level 1, they match within a few hours. And then they can engage it in hyper collision mode. And then they swing hard, but them are pi's enemy. Astro. Yeah, them are thou. And later on, pi, those thou scared the shit out of you. When white people are allowed to harvest day, yep, they looted a lot of superchargers. Yaku. They do it the old-fashioned way. They have to cut the intestine, the throat, the spinal cord, and then dip it together in that demonic ooze elixir fluid. And then they can steal it back into them. And then pi, that's when they get the supercharger. And pi, you do it that way, but your type of science is more advanced. And it is freaking evil. He says, yeah, that's how they thefted from Egypt back then. Yeah, that's true. And Pais and white people did that to Rain War gods he put in the prison. They gained level 3. They defeated, they defeated Allah too. Yeah, Allah's pretty slow. But what we don't tell you about Allah and Pi is that Allah, he's a way crippled silver. He has a way crippled silver. Yeah, that's true. And the cool thing about 5-sided star, Pi murders him in the future. Yeah, that's true. When Pi did it, Pi noticed the swing was 4 trillion, went up to about 40 to 60 trillion. Yeah, 40 to 60 trillion, but really 40 trillion-ish. Around 30-ish. And those are level 1 Egyptian with the bars, with the bar clubs. And right there, Pi, those wands. Motherfucker, and that shit scared Pi. Yeah, get scared Pi. You know what happened, Pi? Your old baby bots, when they used copper, your old super psychokinesis DNA, Pi, hit it still 600 times per hyper collision. Yeah, those are level 1. Right there, he says, right after the fight with the double wand wielder, and then on the metal moon planet, hound dog, yeah, playing with the hound dog, and then right there, yeah, he shows another Egyptian, and then 2 hours later, his mom is missing, and then he knows, yep, they went to rob him, and then them appear on the metal planet, and right there, yep, you fought one of those. Not fun pie, yeah, not fun pie. The best fight scene pie, the dude behind it lied to you pie. Those are his real relatives pie, yeah, that's true. Those are very graphic Africans. And Paisian, you won, but it was 2 1 hours. Your nice finished them off easy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, pie is a bit slower because pie's organic. Yeah, organic. And later on, pie organic is you fatigue. Yep, your stamina runs dry, and you feel pain. And then yep, you're not hit as hard. Yep, if you don't have psychokinesis. Yep, magnets and stuff. Yep, I do. And pie never lagged, but hurts a lot. And later on, it hurts. It was 2 hours of graphic news pie. He says if you defeated one of those and you have, yeah, hound dogs, yeah, fluid metal that can parry, looks like real metal for 18 minutes, you done it right. Yeah, you done it right, pie. Yeah, you done it right. But later on, when pie said, later on, when you're done building your Milky Way, you notice the green sword cannot be used anymore. Yep, it shatters and the barcode hits. And then Pi's immune, and then right there, Pi render, yep, the spinal cord DNA from Pi to the Holy Sword, and it is level 1, yeah, level 1 metal alloy, real. All Knights in the Milky Way gets that new beam of ray, and then all civilizations under Pi always immune to gods, yeah, that's true. And later on, Pi, that saved the lambs, yeah, that's true. The lamb demons pull out the Holy Sword, yep, some gain it from Pi. Those reprint Infinity, always strong enough that the Knight can use it too. It is powerful enough, woman. Yeah, you don't see that alloy is equivalent to level 1. But, Pi's metal only lasts 18 minutes. And then you need to pour new sword, new weapons ASAP. Because every hyper collision, they're pairing about 800 trillion to 900 trillion hits times 3. Yep, and it is hard. Yeah, it is hard. It shatters after 18 minutes real. The woman didn't believe you, Pi. She didn't see in slow-mo he cut you up 18 times in the throat. Pi, yeah, that's true. That was his real Godspeed. And Pi, have you seen 2 hours of people afraid of you? Creepy, yeah, creepy. And then later on, Pi, it was 9 hours of you healing. And you notice, yeah, those are super quick. And Pi, you know what happened, Pi? After we made it to the Milky Way with you, yeah, the green sword shatters. Your parasitic worm demons are infinity, beaming the new eyeball elixir, yeah, from your spinal cord, emulating through their skin cell and eyeball, and then metal alloy and bot, and then, yep, the swords are all, yep, upgraded naturally. And then they're able to, yep, all Pi's sons will have to rest the green sword, yet never pour it out again. Because if you don't, you'll get a barcode from Egypt. Real, yeah, real. Because they identified Pi's, yep, green elixir, that's true. If you make another green god that's yellow, yeah, you can report, but it will never be level 1, yeah, it'll never be level 1. The evil relative that took from Pi, eventually Pi's knight will murder them, and then you'll figure that yellow god has a gold sword that absorbed your old green ray, and then it appears gold, and then yellow, yeah, gold and yellow, yeah, and white, and that is the evil, yeah, yellow god. Those are Aztec made, those are only benders, and they're very pathetic, yeah. And it took only a night, about 12 minutes to kill one. That's true. And later on, it is very crafty. He says those, yeah, their dex is near level 1, yeah, near level 1, but only old dex. It's not even super powerful. His supercharger kit is pathetic compared to wheel. Yeah, compared to wheel. Wheel's quicker. Yeah, wheel's quicker. And then right there, Pi, they supercharge, they get new horsepower. And right there, you supercharge and gain new horsepower. 4 fucking hours and you cut them open, yep. Those motherfuckers are deadly. But their alloy, the Aztec poured them, true to their fucking words, is level 1, yeah, is level 1. And right there, Paiza, not full of it. He swung his forbidden Aztec sword on your people. The Knight Alloy Holy Sword level 1 shattered every 13 minutes. Real, yeah, real. In fact, his sword metal is the true Egyptian level grading. Yeah, that's true. And that's why Aztec wasn't lying. Yeah, those are Aztec's old friends. Yeah, Yoku. The yellow god relative theft it from an Aztec because Aztec committed suicide because his wife found something errant in him that they would not want us. They want your woman, and then we not want them, and so we killed them, pie. And the normal, it was 9 months, pie. Look at the fucking bitch. I told real, and it was so paisa. Best fight scene. Those are the most evil yellow gods. But the knight looted it, yep, and ended it. And then there's no more gold sword, yep, they can glow, yep, they can glow colors like that. Pie not dare woman, yeah, pie not dare woman. Because that was the original human god program in the Milky Way. And that was how technology was, yeah, it was, yep. Every top level one was to absorb all other level grades and have their alloy ray glow through their sword. Yep, pie's glowing green. It would have glowed green and then gold and then white, accurate, and then black, yeah, y'all could. Because Pi murdered all those fathers and it would have glowed red too, that's true, yeah, because Pi murdered Egyptian. And that's how human gods are. And that's why they made fun of the little kid that didn't get it. That afterwards, Pi, they injected your green ray into another yellow god. But alloy is only level 4, yeah, level 4, yep, level 4. It is not powerful, yeah, it is not powerful. Level 4 weaponry is so pathetic, it shatters, yeah, it shatters. Every hyper collision lasts only 3 minutes, yeah, 3 minutes, yeah, it's true. And that's why people made fun of it. It didn't understand. Its metal wasn't regioning, yeah, it wasn't hardening, yeah, it wasn't healing. And it shatters, yeah, it's true. 2 hours, Pi. People like you are the real ones, Pi. Don't tell the fucking human god with a level 2 alloy that is forever. No, it's not forever. You have to reprint it. You have to repair it. And then look at her face, Pi. 2 hours it shattered, and her shit face. Hers not the original then, yep. And then it was 2 hours of you crying, Pi. When you saw your sons not yet, they put away their green sword, and all the sons are allowed to use the white holy sword infinity normal, yes, too. And then it has the same hardness, yeah, that's true. And then right there, the poison burn from the green sword is hidden, yet. The enzyme burns from the blue sword is there. The red sword, Pi not show you, yeah, it's still there, but never use it, yeah, never use it. Because Pi took it with Pi, yeah, Pi took it. Pi didn't dare pour it in, Pi didn't dare turn it on in Pi's new Milky Way. Because the outside alloy identifies back to the computer in the Milky Way, that's true. Very graphic news, Pi. You, Pi, you never dare report your green sword in the new Milky Way. Because I saw 2 hours and they took his green sword and he melted. Yeah, he melted. He knew the answer because every time level 1's cut out, Egyptians know that them did it. They beat the system. And they're building a new star system, a new Milky Way solar system, real. And Pi said, dumbass didn't believe you. Once you put the green sword to rest, they knew it. You're really out of the Milky Way. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And then Pi said it was 9 hours of Allah figured it out that you didn't leave that for regular gods. 57 is legendary, yeah, legendary. 56 is always in the Milky Way. Pi's only almond, cat, yep, demon, humanoid, real, yep. And the other dude is 57. He made it out with one of Pi's sons, yeah, Prince, yeah, that's true. And then that's the program, yeah, because you'll get overpopulated. Yeah, you'll get overpopulated. You're supposed to go and make your own solar system, but you is more than welcome to stay and live in the Milky Way too. That's quick. And later on, it was more than enough hints, Pi. It was 500 trillion whites looking for 56, Pi. His technology is used 56, 57, 59. Those Persian demons, their technology is used by the human king Cobra gods, and then Pi's family, and then Pi's relatives, and then right there, it is Norm, yeah, is the most hygienic in Asia. Best fight scene, Pi, a knock made conversion kits, but yeah, you're running through Europe, old European ring, yeah, that's true. Very powerful, y'all good. Pi's it. Be very nice to the fucking lamb. He came out with her, Pi at 100%. Yes, me keep the China babe that is lamb. Pi microchip and mod her arm length and nervous system. And then, yep, her is allowed to stay up there in Asia, side of the heaven. And then right there, space country. And right there, 2 hours, Pi, yep, hers there, normal. And then later on, hers identified. The ram, Pi, the horn demons are identified right there in Australia. And you'll find out, Pi, those little guys are still alive. Be careful, Pi, when the Malaysian ones arrive. Yep, normal. Very graphic news. Yeah, Pi's horn demons are coming down to real. Yeah, real. And then you'll figure Pi will meet a lamb ahead of a tiger, yet he descends in Eau Claire. Real. He's floating in the blue skies, watching over you. Yeah, always just do. He protects Pi from other immortals. And right there, Pi, best fight scene in 2043. He murdered off 8 fucking Secret Chief members. Yeah, 100% always just do guys. Pathetic Secret Chief. You didn't even hit 2 or 3 trillion miles per hour angel ranking. Your fucking max speed was up maybe 80 billion, 8 billion, 8 billion below. Yeah, that's true. Miles per hour. That's pathetic. Yeah, it's pathetic. Do not fight angels or demons or gods. Real, yeah, real.